"I don't want to see you like this," wrote Millionaire CEO. 5 years later, he heard her laugh again. "Hi, my beautiful family. Welcome back to Mr. Peter Stories, your own family channel. May the Almighty bless every woman with unshakable strength, boundless love, and a heart so radiant it lights up every life it touches. May your days overflow with peace, your nights be gentle with rest, and every challenge transform into courage. You are the pillars of families, the silent warriors whose sacrifices shape the world, the gentle hands that heal, guide, and protect. May your lives be full of joy that never ends, your paths guided by wisdom and love, and may you always feel honored, valued, and cherished. You deserve all the respect, happiness, and blessings that this world and heaven can offer. My beautiful family, I see some of you taking interest in the story but not liking or commenting. Have you forgotten your brother, Mr. Peter, or do you think I am done? Please tell me the reason. Every story I write comes from my heart, for you, and I pour all my love and respect into it. If your heart is true, like the video. If your love is real, write, "I am with Mr. Peter." The invitation arrived by courier on Tuesday, and Journey Rose held it for a full minute before opening it, savoring the weight of what 5 years of planning felt like in her hands. Cream envelope, expensive paper stock, the kind that whispered money and power and exclusivity. She set it on her desk at Solace and Stone headquarters, 42 floors above Miami, and studied it like a general studying battle plans, because that's what this was, a battle, the final one. When she finally slid her letter opener through the seal, slowly, deliberately, her hands didn't shake. They hadn't shaken since the night she'd stopped crying and started scheming. National Hospitality Excellence Awards, Saturday evening, the Fontainebleau, black tie required, and there, printed in script that probably cost more per letter than most people spent on lunch, hosted by Chosen Jacobs, CEO of Jacobs Technologies. Journey's smile was the smile of a woman who'd just won a war her enemy didn't know they were fighting. "Leona," her assistant appeared instantly, tablet clutched like armor. "Call Giuseppe in New York. Tell him I need the Emerald Valentino from the Paris collection, the one he said was too powerful for mortal women. That dress doesn't make statements, boss. It ends conversations." "Perfect. I want to end a very specific conversation that's been going on for 5 years. Journey positioned the invitation in the center of her desk, where afternoon light hit it like a spotlight. "And confirm my photographer for Saturday. Every moment documented, every angle captured. I want proof of what triumph looks like when it walks through a door." Leona hesitated, that particular hesitation that meant unwanted advice was coming. "Are you completely sure about this?" "I've orchestrated every step leading to Saturday night. I've made certain my company made headlines he couldn't ignore. My name crossed his desk repeatedly. My success became impossible to miss. Yes, Leona, I'm completely sure. Revenge has a way of—" "This isn't revenge." Journey's voice cut clean. "Revenge is emotional, impulsive. This is strategic justice. This is 5 years of careful planning, wearing Louboutins and arriving exactly on time." 5 years ago, Journey Parker had believed different things. She'd believed in partnerships that lasted. She'd believed that building something with someone, a business plan, a future, a family, meant permanence. She'd been catastrophically wrong. The night everything ended, she'd been drowning in new motherhood, 3-month-old triplets who cried in perfect rotation, ensuring she never slept more than 90 minutes consecutively. Damien screamed from 6 to 7, David from 7 to 8, Daniel from 8 to 9. Then they'd cycle again, a perfectly orchestrated symphony of need. That particular Tuesday, she'd been wearing the same robe for 72 hours, spit-up crusted on her shoulder, hair unwashed for longer than she wanted to calculate. She'd been holding Damien, screaming, red-faced, inconsolable, while trying to remember if she'd eaten anything besides crackers grabbed between feeding sessions. Chosen had walked in dressed for the Rivera Capital pitch, 50 million in Series B funding, the meeting that would transform his startup into an empire. She'd looked up at him with desperate relief. "Thank God," Can you take him for 20 minutes? I just need to shower. Please. His expression had been something she'd spent 5 years trying to name. Disgust mixed with disappointment, mixed with something colder. I can't do this, Journey. Can't do what? Hold your son. Can't look at you like this. He'd adjusted his cufflinks, the ones she'd bought him. You're falling apart. You're not the woman I fell in love with. That woman was sharp, ambitious. She elevated me. This version. He'd gestured vaguely at her, at the chaos. You're drowning and trying to pull me under. The words had landed like physical blows. I have 3-month-old triplets. Our 3-month-old triplets. I'm drowning because I'm doing this alone. You're doing it alone because you refuse help. You insist on controlling everything. What help, Chosen? You work 18-hour days. I haven't slept in 3 months. When exactly are you helping? I'm providing for this family. I'm building our future. No. You're building your future, your company, your success, while I keep 3 infants alive by myself. Her voice had been shaking. I'm exhausted because I'm doing everything, and instead of helping, you're criticizing me for not doing it perfectly. I have the Rivera meeting in 40 minutes, the most important meeting of my life. I need to be focused, not dealing with chaos. Then help me create less chaos. I have helped. I've been providing while you let yourself go, while you stopped being my partner and became just someone's mother. He'd said it like an insult. She'd stared at this man she'd loved, at the father of her children. Get out. I'm going to the meeting. No, get out of this house. Our lives. If looking at me exhausted disgusts you this much, if seeing me need help makes you this cold, then leave. Build your empire, but don't come back. He'd hesitated for exactly 3 seconds. Then, maybe that's what we both need. Space. I don't need space. I need a partner, but apparently I'm raising 4 children, not 3. He'd left. Door closing softly. Not even a slam. And Journey had sat on that bedroom floor with a screaming baby, listening to David wake up and Daniel start crying, and made a decision. She would build something so magnificent that 5 years from now, Chosen Jacobs would understand exactly what walking away had cost him. The first 3 days, she'd called, texted, left voicemails progressing from worried to furious. His phone went to voicemail. His office claimed he was traveling. His business partner Kingston offered vague excuses. Day 4, she stopped calling, started planning instead. She liquidated her equity stake, shares earned when she'd been his co-founder, before pregnancy made her just someone's mother. $30,000. Insulting, but she'd needed capital more than pride. Justice could wait. She legally became Journey Rose, her mother's maiden name, connection to the woman who'd raised her alone and strong. Journey Parker disappeared from records, became unfindable. She moved twice in 3 months, creating trails that went cold. By month 6, she'd vanished completely, landing back in Miami under her new identity. And she built. Solace and Stone started in a studio apartment with 3 cribs and $30,000. She worked during naps, made calls one-handed while feeding babies, sent emails while burping infants. She built around what she knew, luxury wellness retreats where stressed people remembered joy. First year, 1 location, Coral Gables, small, exclusive, word of mouth only. Second year, 2 more, Miami Beach, Key West. Third year, international expansion, Costa Rica, Bali. Fourth year, venture capital firms called. She refused them all. This empire would be hers alone. Fifth year, 200 million valuation, nomination for Innovator of the Year. The entire time she'd watched Chosen from carefully maintained distance, watched Jacobs Technologies become a household name, watched his face on magazine covers, watched him give TED Talks about focus and sacrifice, watched him search for her, private investigators whose inquiries she anticipated, databases she scrubbed, trails she muddied. She'd wanted him to search, wanted him wondering if his sons were safe, healthy, thriving, wanted him to feel a fraction of what she'd felt on that bedroom floor. Now, finally, the perfect moment had arrived. The awards committee, cultivated over 3 years, had nominated her, the same event where Chosen would host, because his company sponsored it. Saturday night, he'd watch her accept her award. He'd see what the woman he'd discarded had become. He'd understand she hadn't needed him, that some women don't break, they rebuild better. Boss? Leona pulled her back. Giuseppe confirmed the dress. Photographer confirmed for Saturday. Perfect. Leak to the press that I'm attending. I want Chosen knowing I'm coming. I want him to have days to prepare for something he can't possibly prepare for. You're terrifying. I've spent 5 years earning that. Saturday it becomes an art form. That evening, Journey drove home to her Coral Gables penthouse. Miss Iris was there with the boys, and the sound hit immediately. Laughter, chaos, the beautiful noise of 3 5-year-olds who'd been loved completely. Mama! Daniel launched himself from the couch fortress, confident he'd be caught. She scooped him up, breathing in apple juice and playground dirt and sweetness that was purely him. My love, how was today? Damien punched Tyler because Tyler said we don't have a dad, but Miss Carrington said violence is never the answer, even though Tyler probably deserved it a little, and David built a robot that actually moves, and I made a new friend. Journey looked at Damien on the couch, arms crossed, defensive. David beside him with a book, watching carefully. Damien, kitchen. Her oldest followed with the stomping walk of a child who believed he was right. Explain the punching. Tyler said we don't have a dad because our dad didn't want us. He said men who abandon kids are losers, so I punched him. Journey knelt, looked into her son's eyes, Chosen's eyes. Baby, you can't hit people for speaking truth. But it's not truth. You said he's lost. He is lost. But Tyler's dad isn't completely wrong. Your father made choices that hurt us. She paused carefully. That doesn't make him a loser, but it makes him someone who wasn't ready to be what you deserved. David appeared silently. Are you seeing him? Our dad? The question caught her. What makes you ask? You've been different this week, planning something. You get a specific expression when you're planning. Too observant, this one. Are you? She could lie. Should, maybe, but she'd promised honesty about Chosen. Yes. Saturday, an event we're both attending. Will you tell him about us? Daniel appeared too. No, Saturday is about business, about what I've built, about showing him what I built without him. You 3 are mine, my greatest achievement. He doesn't get to know you until I decide he's earned it. What if he finds us? David asked logically. He can't. He doesn't know my new name. I've made sure we're protected. She pulled all 3 close. You're safe. He can't find you unless I allow it. Do you want him to? Damien asked, voice small. I want you growing up knowing you were always wanted, always loved, always enough. She kissed each forehead. What I want regarding your father is complicated, but what I want for you is simple. You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Later, after bedtime routines, Journey stood in her closet. Behind winter coats she never wore was a small box. Inside, 1 photograph. Her and Chosen, 3 years before the boys. Some Keys Beach, both young and laughing. She was looking at the camera, he was looking at her. That expression had been everything she'd thought love looked like. Turned out love looked different. Love looked like midnight feedings alone. Love looked like building empires with sleeping infants in the office. Love looked like surviving abandonment and choosing to thrive. Love looked like her sons' faces. Saturday, she told the photograph. Saturday you see what I became, and spend the rest of your life wishing you'd stayed. She closed the box, hid it away. In 3 days, Chosen Jacobs would learn that some women don't forgive, they just win. Chapter 2. 3 reasons he doesn't deserve them. Damien Rose carried his father's bone structure and his mother's protective fury. David Rose carried his father's analytical mind and his mother's strategic patience. Daniel Rose carried his father's natural charm and his mother's instinct for survival. And Chosen Jacobs would never know any of this, would never discover that his genes had combined with hers to create 3 extraordinary boys who thrived despite his absence, not because of anything he'd contributed beyond biology. Wednesday morning exploded before dawn, as all mornings in the Rose household did, with someone's crisis before the sun rose. Today it was David, standing in the shared bathroom at 5:40 a.m., fully dressed except for bare feet, holding two completely mismatched socks like evidence in a trial. "These don't match," he announced when Journey appeared, still half asleep. "That's the definition of not matching, baby. Find two that are the same." "But why should I?" David looked up with that expression, meaning a philosophical argument was coming. "Matching is just arbitrary social conformity disguised as fashion rules. I'm 5. Why should I conform to made-up hosiery standards before I'm old enough to understand the societal pressures that created them?" Journey blinked. Her coffee hadn't kicked in, and her kindergartner was deconstructing social norms before 6 a.m. "David, I love you, but matching socks, now, so we're not late. That's not a logical rebuttal. That's an appeal to convenience." "You're absolutely right, because convenience matters when you're managing 3 5-year-olds and running a company." She grabbed 2 matching blue socks. "These, now." David took them with theatrical sighing. "I'm filing a formal complaint with the dress code committee." "You do that, sweetheart." In the kitchen, Damien was constructing what could only be called architectural chaos, disguised as lunch. 4 bread slices layered with what appeared to be an entire jar of peanut butter and an entire jar of jelly, now being compressed into something theoretically edible. "Damien, that's excessive." "It's experimental cuisine," he announced without looking up. "Tyler says my lunches are boring. This lunch makes a statement about creativity and abundance. This lunch makes a statement about needing extra napkins." "All great art is misunderstood initially, Mama." "Since when is a sandwich art?" "Since I decided it was." He pressed down. Peanut butter erupted like a volcano. "See? It's visceral, tactile, experiential. It's going to be all over your uniform. Suffering for art is noble." Daniel, blessedly, was already ready, uniform pristine, socks matching, practicing expressions in the toaster's reflection. "Do I look trustworthy?" he asked when he noticed her watching. "Miss Carrington says I have exceptional emotional intelligence and should consider careers in diplomacy or conflict resolution." "You're 5 years old. Talent doesn't have age requirements, Mama." He adjusted his collar microscopically. "I think my left side smile projects more warmth than my right side smile. The asymmetry creates approachability. You're perfect from every angle." "I know, but consistency matters when building a personal brand." Some days Journey wondered if she'd actually given birth to these children, or if tiny adults had somehow been placed in kindergartner bodies. The drive to school was controlled chaos. Daniel narrated every building they passed like he was hosting a documentary. David read a book about quantum mechanics that was definitely not age-appropriate. Damien stared out the window with brooding intensity that made her worry he was thinking thoughts too heavy for 5-year-old shoulders. "Damien," she said gently, catching his reflection. "What's happening in that mind? Is our dad famous?" The question detonated in the morning quiet. David looked up from quantum mechanics. Daniel stopped narrating. "Where's this coming from?" "Tyler's dad showed him pictures on his phone yesterday, before the punching incident. Articles about rich people. There was a man who looked like us. Tyler's dad said that's our father. Said his name is Chosen Jacobs and he's super rich and famous and important. Is that true?" Journey's hands tightened on the steering wheel until her knuckles went white. She'd known this moment was inevitable. The internet made secrets impossible, but she'd hoped for more time, better circumstances, somewhere other than a Wednesday morning school run. "Yes," she said, because she'd sworn to always tell them truth about Chosen. "Your father is named Chosen Jacobs. He built a technology company that became very successful. So yes, he has money, and I suppose in certain circles that makes him famous. Then why doesn't he help us?" Daniel's voice went small. "If he has money, why doesn't he send some? Tyler's dad says fathers are supposed to provide for their children." "We don't need his money," Damien said fiercely before Journey could respond. "We have everything. We have Mama. We have our house. We have school and each other. We don't need anything from someone who abandoned us." "But how do you know he doesn't want us?" David asked with his usual logic. "Maybe he doesn't know we exist. Maybe Mama never told him we were born. He knows, Journey said quietly. He knew before you were born. He was there when you came home from the hospital. He just chose not to stay. Silence, except for Miami traffic outside. Why? Daniel whispered. Why wouldn't he stay with us? How do you explain to 5-year-olds that their father looked at their exhausted mother and decided she wasn't worth the effort? How do you explain that some people run from difficulty instead of facing it? Your father was scared, she said carefully. When you 3 were babies, everything was overwhelming and chaotic. Instead of staying to help, he decided to leave. That wasn't about you being unlovable. You're perfect. That was about him not being ready to be what you deserved. Is he ready now? David asked. I don't know. I haven't spoken to him in 5 years. But you're going to, David said. Saturday, you told us. Damn his perfect memory. Yes, but that's business, not about you 3. Does he know we live in Miami? Daniel asked. No, and I'm not telling him. That's my decision until you're old enough to decide yourselves. I'd never want to meet him, Damien said, voice hard. You don't abandon people and then come back like nothing happened. I'd want to meet him, Daniel said, just to see what he's like. I'd need answers first, David said thoughtfully. Why he left, why he stayed gone, what changed, if anything. You can't make informed decisions without complete data. Journey looked at her 3 sons in the rear view, 3 identical faces, 3 completely different souls, all hers in ways that transcended biology. Listen carefully, she said, pulling into the school lot. Your father's choices don't reflect your worth. You are wanted, you are loved, you are exactly who you're meant to be. Whether he returns or not, whether you choose to know him or not, that doesn't change who you are. You're mine, you're each other's. That's complete. Are you okay without him? David asked quietly. Baby, I'm better than okay. We built this life without him. We're thriving. The bell rang. Journey walked all 3 to class, kissed 3 foreheads, watched them scatter, Damien to the playground kids, David to the book corner, Daniel to the center of an admiring group. Miss Carrington intercepted her before escape. Mrs. Rose, a quick word. They stepped into the hallway, and Journey braced for news about yesterday's violence. Instead, Miss Carrington beamed. Something wonderful happened. We received an anonymous $50,000 donation for our STEM lab. Complete renovation, new computers, robotics, everything. The note said it was given in honor of 3 special students representing education's future. I immediately thought of your boys. Journey's blood crystallized. 50,000. Exactly 1,000 more than he'd paid for her equity 5 years ago. The bastard was sending coded messages. How generous, she managed through a smile that felt like cracking glass. Do you have donor contact information? Completely anonymous, through a law firm. They requested no recognition. Miss Carrington glowed. Isn't that beautiful? Someone caring without needing credit. Beautiful, Journey echoed. She made it to her car before Fury detonated. He was trying to buy his way into their lives without actually entering their lives, trying to feel like a good father without doing fatherhood's actual work, trying to purchase guilt relief while maintaining safe distance. 50,000 to a school, but not 1 second of his time, not one attempt to actually meet his sons, just money, always money. She called the school director immediately. Margaret, Journey Rose, return that anonymous STEM donation today. I'm sorry, what? The 50,000. Return it. Tell whoever donated that the Rose family declines their guilt money. But Journey, that money helps every student. I'll replace it personally, 100,000 from Solace and Stone, but that anonymous donation goes back. I'm non-negotiable on this. Silence. Then, if you're certain. I've never been more certain. She sat in the parking lot, hands shaking with rage. He thought he could insert himself sideways through donations without facing what he'd done, without looking at 3 abandoned boys and explaining himself. No. If Chosen Jacobs wanted into his sons' lives, it would be on her terms. He would face them, face her, face consequences, or stay gone. No middle ground, no anonymous absolution, no easy exits. Her phone buzzed. Leona. Boss, page 6 leaked that you're attending Saturday. Our Journey Rose Returns is trending in Miami. Perfect. Perfect? This means Chosen knows I'm coming. 3 days to wonder what I'll say, do, where. 3 days to feel what I felt for 5 years, uncertainty and the knowledge something's coming he can't stop. You're absolutely terrifying. I've earned it. Confirm the dress is ready. Make sure the photographer captures everything. She drove to her office, rode to the 42nd floor, stood at her window overlooking the city she'd conquered. Saturday was 3 days away. 3 days until Chosen Jacobs learned that women he'd thrown away had become something he'd never afford to lose again. Chapter 3. The Man Who Lost Everything That Mattered. Chosen Jacobs was worth $800 million and would have traded every penny to undo one sentence. He stood in his office overlooking Biscayne Bay, staring at the return donation check. Attached was a note. The Rose family respectfully declines. The Rose family. He'd spent 5 years searching for the Parker family, Journey Parker, and 3 sons born at Mercy Hospital, Damien Parker, David Parker, Daniel Parker. But there was no Parker family. No trace, no trail, nothing. The Rose family respectfully declines. It had taken 3 years to consider she might have changed her name, another year to accept she'd done it deliberately, another to understand what that meant. She hadn't just left. She'd erased herself, made absolutely certain he could never find them. "You're staring at that check like it's scripture," Kingston said from the doorway, carrying coffee. "What's it say?" "It says she knows I donated. She's rejecting it, sending a message. Pretty clear message. Leave her kids alone." "Our kids." "Your biology." "Her kids." Kingston sat. "You don't get to claim them now. I never stopped claiming them. I couldn't find them. Because she made sure you couldn't. And honestly, I don't blame her." Chosen turned, anger flashing. "I was there for 3 months. You were physically present while she did everything," Kingston interrupted. "I visited. You were sleeping in the guest room because crying bothered you, working 16-hour days while she handled 3 newborns alone. Then you bailed because she wasn't Instagram perfect anymore." "I know what I did." "Do you? Because you want credit for donating to a STEM lab?" The words hit like punches. "I was wrong. Being wrong doesn't earn second chances." "Then what does?" Kingston was quiet. "I don't know if anything does." Chosen looked at the check. $30,000, the exact amount he'd paid Journey for her equity stake when they'd incorporated. She'd been his partner, equal stake, equal vision. When she got pregnant, he'd suggested she step back, bought her out for pennies. That equity would be worth $80 million now. "Saturday," Chosen said. "Solace and Stone is nominated for Innovator of the Year. I'm hosting." "So?" "The CEO is Journey Rose. No photos online, completely private. But the company was founded 5 years ago with exactly $30,000 in seed money." Kingston went still. "You think—" "I know. It's her. She took that money and built an empire. Without you, because of me." He turned. "She's worth $200 million. 5 years, 3 kids. She did what took me 8 years and venture capital and a partner who walked out." "Yes." The admission broke. "I need to see her. I need to—" "To what? Apologize? Get closure?" Kingston stood. "What about what she needs? Maybe she built that company so she'd never need you again." "I have to try." "Why? Guilt?" "Love." The word hung heavy. "I loved her. I love her. I was just too broken to handle it when love got messy." "And now?" Chosen thought about 5 years of therapy. The volunteer work at single-parent centers, the donations to maternal health, trying to fix systems that had failed her, the relationships that never lasted because he couldn't let anyone close. "Now I'm less broken, maybe not fixed, but better, and I know what I lost." "Do you? You lost a woman, sure, but 3 sons, 5 years of their lives, first steps, first words, first days of school. You don't get those back." "I know." "And you think she'll let you walk back in?" "No." Chosen looked at his friend. But I think she'll be at that ceremony Saturday, and she'll let me see exactly what I lost, and I owe it to her to stand there and take it. And then I beg." Kingston shook his head. "You're going to get destroyed. It's been broken for 5 years. At least this way, I'll deserve it." That night, Chosen sat in his penthouse, too big, too empty, and opened the safe in his office. Birth certificates for 3 boys. Damien, David, Daniel, £7 each, perfect APGAR scores. A photo of Journey pregnant, glowing, laughing, a list of every private investigator, every dead end, and a letter he'd written 2 years ago after therapy, never sent. He read it now. "Journey, I don't know where you are. If you're safe, if the boys are healthy. I don't know anything, and that's my fault. I told you I didn't want to see you tired and needing help. Truth is, I was terrified. Terrified that if I let you need me, you'd discover I didn't know how to be needed, that I was just as lost, except you were brave enough to admit it. You asked what I was afraid of. I never answered. The truth? Being my father, a man present but absent, who provided but didn't connect, who achieved everything and felt nothing. I was afraid fatherhood would reveal I was becoming him. So I ran, and became exactly what I feared. I abandoned you, our sons, became the worst version of everything I was afraid of being. If I could find you, I'd get on my knees. Every therapy session, every donation, every attempt to be better is me trying to become someone who deserves to ask for a second chance. But I know you don't owe me anything. I just need you to know you were always enough. You were everything. I wasn't ready to see it." He folded the letter, closed the safe. Saturday. 3 days. 3 days until he faced the woman he'd destroyed and the life she'd built from wreckage. He didn't sleep. He sat at his window watching city lights, wondering if somewhere out there, 3 boys with his eyes were sleeping, wondering if they knew he existed, wondering if they'd hate him, wondering if he'd ever find out. Chapter 4. The First Cut. Revenge, Journey Rose had learned, was best served with a smile and flawless lipstick. The National Hospitality Excellence Awards filled the Fontainebleau ballroom with 800 people in evening wear and ambition. Journey arrived like a declaration of war. The Emerald Valentino was perfect, structured, powerful, making her dark skin luminous. She felt a tension shift as she entered, the way rooms noticed power, but she was searching for one face. Then she saw him. Chosen Jacob stood near the stage, mid-conversation, and she watched the exact moment he recognized her, watched his face go slack with shock, watched the champagne flute tilt dangerously before he caught it, watched him forget to breathe. She smiled and walked toward him. Leona appeared at her elbow. "You sure?" "I've never been more sure." The walk took 30 seconds and 5 years. She saw Chosen excuse himself, saw him try to compose himself, saw him fail. His hands shook. She stopped 3 feet away. "Hello, Chosen." Her voice was warm, professional. "You look well." He stared like she was a ghost. "Journey." Her name came out broken. "I've been looking for you for 5 years. I know." She let that land. "Every investigator, every search. I'm aware." His face went white. "You knew I was looking." "Of course. Did you think I wouldn't have alerts set? Wouldn't track anyone getting close? I'm very good at protecting what's mine." "The boys, are they okay?" "They're perfect. Brilliant, healthy, happy. Everything they need to be." "Can I see them, please? Just a photo." "Why would I do that?" The question stopped him. "Because they're mine." "No. Quiet, absolute. They're mine. You made that choice 5 years ago when you walked out because I wasn't the woman you fell in love with." She watched him flinch. "You don't get to claim them because your guilt caught up." "Journey, please. Ms. Rose, we're not familiar, we're not anything." "I know I don't deserve—" "You're right, you don't." She glanced past him. "You should get back to hosting duties." "I'm sorry." The words fell desperate, raw. "I'm so goddamn sorry. I was wrong, cruel. I destroyed the best thing in my life and would give anything to undo it." Apologies don't undo 5 years of single parenting. They don't undo midnight feedings alone, or first steps I couldn't share, or the moment your son asked why he doesn't have a father. She watched his eyes fill. You can't undo it. You can only live with it. Then let me live with it by being in their lives. No. Journey, Ms. Rose. She pulled out a business card. If you want to grovel, schedule an appointment. But right now you have a ceremony to host, and I have an award to accept. She turned, and his voice caught her. You built all this. $30,000 and you built this. She looked back. I took the wreckage of what you destroyed and built something better. Yes, I'm proud of you. The audacity almost made her laugh. You don't get to be proud. You get to watch from a distance and understand what you gave up. That's all. She walked away and didn't look back. The ceremony blurred, but Journey felt Chosen's eyes through every moment. When her category came, Innovator of the Year, she walked to the stage and accepted the trophy from his hands. Their fingers brushed. She saw him go still. Thank you, she said to the audience. 5 years ago I started Solace and Stone with $30,000 and a vision. I built it while the world said I couldn't. Too young, too inexperienced, too burdened. She let that hang. But I learned, sometimes the weight you're carrying isn't a burden. It's your foundation. Everything that tried to break me made me stronger. She lifted the trophy. This belongs to every single parent working 3 jobs, every person who started over from nothing, every woman told she wasn't enough who decided to prove the world wrong. Her eyes found Chosen's. Thank you for seeing my work. Thunderous applause. She left the stage, handed the trophy to Leona, headed for the exit. Chosen caught her in the lobby. Wait, please. He grabbed her arm, released it when she looked at his hand. I just need to know, are you happy? Are they happy? Why does that matter? Because if you're not, then I destroyed something for nothing. But if you are, if you built this and you're happy, then at least... He couldn't finish. You want absolution. I just want to know. I'm happy, she said simply. My sons are happy. We have a beautiful life. We're a family. Relief and devastation crossed his face equally. But here's what you need to understand. That happiness, that family, we built it in the space you left. It exists because you walked away. So when you lie awake wondering what could have been, remember, we're fine. Better than fine. Thriving. Can I see them? Just once. Journey pulled out her phone, showed him a photo. 3 identical boys in school uniforms, gap-toothed smiles, arms around each other. Chosen's knees buckled. He caught himself against the wall, staring like the phone was holy. Damien on the left, David middle, Daniel right, she said clinically. They're 5. Kindergarten. Smart, funny, kind, everything you're not. She pulled the phone back. Please let me be part of their lives. I'll do anything, sign whatever you want. Just please don't keep me from them. You kept yourself from them. I'm just maintaining the status quo you established. She turned, stopped, looked back. You wanted to see the woman you fell in love with? Take a good look. This is what you created instead. She walked out into Miami night, where her driver waited. She could feel his eyes until the car pulled away. In the back seat, Leona handed her a tissue. You okay? Perfect. Phase 1 complete. Phase 2. Journey smiled, unkind. Now I let him suffer. Chapter 5. The game begins. Chosen Jacob sent 47 messages in 3 days, and Journey Rose read everyone before deleting them. First came at 2 a.m. Please talk to me. Dawn, I know I don't deserve a response. I just need you to know I'm here. Noon, I've thought about them every day for 5 years, please. Evening, I'll do anything. Just tell me what you need. Then emails, long paragraphs about therapy and regret and how he'd changed, how he'd donated millions to maternal health programs, like money could absolve him. Journey read each with clinical detachment and deleted with satisfaction. Day 4, a letter arrived by courier. Handwritten, 12 pages. First line, I don't know what else to do but beg. She set it in her drawer unread. Not yet. Let him wonder. Leona appeared. Boss, situation. What kind? Chosen Jacobs is downstairs. Security's asking if they should remove him. Journey felt something cold settle in her chest. How long? 2 hours, just sitting, waiting. She walked to her window, looked down 42 floors to where she could barely make out a figure in the atrium. Let him wait. I'm not seeing anyone today. 4 hours later, he was still there. At 6, when Journey left, she saw him stand as she crossed the lobby. She walked straight past without acknowledging him and got in her car. In the rear view, she watched him watch her leave. That night, after the boys slept, she opened a message thread. One photo. The boys at age 2, birthday cake covered. She hit send with no message. His response came instantly. Thank you. God, thank you. They're beautiful. Please. More. She sent another. Age 3, at the beach. Journey, please, let me call. Let me explain. Another photo. Age 4, first day of pre-K. I'll do anything. Just tell me what you want. She typed her first response in 4 days. I want you to understand what 5 years feels like. Then blocked his number. Next morning, Kingston appeared at her office. She almost refused, but curiosity won. Ms. Rose, we haven't officially met. I know who you are. Chosen's business partner, his handler, his friend. I'm not here to apologize for him. I'm asking what you're doing to him. Nothing he doesn't deserve. You're torturing him. I'm giving him perspective. For 5 years I watched my sons grow without their father. Now he gets to watch from outside. Seems fair. Is it about fairness or revenge? Can't it be both? Kingston studied her. He's unraveling, barely sleeping, can't focus in meetings. Yesterday he snapped at an investor, nearly killed a $50 million deal. That sounds like a personal problem. It'll become a business problem. Jacobs Technologies employs 2,000 people. If he crashes, they crash. I suggest better coping mechanisms. Therapy, perhaps. He's been in therapy 4 years. Clearly it's not taking. Kingston leaned forward. I'm not defending what he did. It was cruel and cowardly, but he's trying, really trying, and you're systematically breaking him. Good. He broke me. He broke our son's chance at having a father. Why shouldn't he be broken? Because you're better than that. Am I? She walked to her window. You want to know something? I planned this. The awards, the nomination, making sure he'd host. I orchestrated it so I could show him exactly what he lost. This isn't revenge. This is justice. Justice would be letting him see his kids. Justice is him experiencing a fraction of the pain he caused. She turned. He gets photos. He gets to know they exist, that they're perfect and his. But he doesn't get to touch that. Just like I couldn't touch my dreams when he walked out. So what's the end game? Torture him forever? Until I'm satisfied. And I'll let you know when that is. Kingston stood. You're right. You are better than he deserves. But you're becoming something worse than what hurt you. Get out. He left. Journey sat in silence. Was she becoming something worse? She pulled out her phone, scrolled to the photo she'd sent. 3 little faces, her whole world. That night with the boys at homework, Daniel drawing, David reading, Damien building with Legos. Mama, Daniel asked, why don't we have a dad? Still hurt after 5 years. You know why, baby. But Tyler's dad came back. Could our dad come back? Would you want him to? I don't know. Maybe. I want to know what he looks like. You do. You have his eyes. Are they nice eyes? David asked. Very nice eyes. Does he know about us? Damien asked, the question she'd been avoiding. Yes, he knows. Then why doesn't he come? It's complicated. That's what adults say when they don't want to explain. Damien looked up. Does he not want us? No, that's not it. Then what? Journey looked at her 3 sons. He made a mistake, a big one, and I'm not sure I can forgive it. So I've kept him away. You kept him away? David asked. He wanted to see us? I think so. Yes, but you said no. I said no. Damien stood. Good. We don't need him. But Daniel's eyes filled. Maybe I do. David just looked at her. Did you ask us what we wanted? The question hit like a fist. Had she? Had she considered her revenge was keeping 3 boys from their father? I'm trying to protect you. From what? David asked. A dad who made a mistake. You make mistakes. We forgive you. This is different. Why? Damien challenged. Because he hurt you, so we have to be hurt too. I need to think. Can we talk tomorrow? Are you going to let him meet us? Daniel asked, hopeful. I don't know yet. After they slept, she pulled out Chosen's letter. Read all 12 pages, raw, honest, devastating. He catalogued every failure, every missed moment, every regret. One paragraph stopped her. I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I'm not asking for that. But our sons deserve the chance to know their father. Even if flawed and broken and late, they deserve to make their own choice. I'm begging not for my sake, but theirs. Let them decide. She read it 3 times, then unblocked his number, typed, Saturday, National Children's Hospital Charity Gala. I'll be there with my sons. Don't approach. Just look, that's all. His response, thank you, I'll be there. She added, and Chosen. This isn't forgiveness. This is me letting them see what they're missing. She hit send and wondered if she'd just made a terrible mistake. Chapter 6. Look but don't touch. Chosen. Jacobs had closed billion-dollar deals, but nothing prepared him for seeing his 5-year-old sons across a ballroom and not being allowed to speak. He arrived an hour early, positioned near the entrance, waited with his heart in his throat. When Journey walked in with 3 identical boys in tiny suits, everything else ceased to exist. They were perfect. One walked ahead, protective, Damien. One hung back near Journey, quieter, David. One bounced between them, chattering. Daniel, his sons, his chest hurt. He watched Damien notice him staring, expression shifting to suspicion, stepping closer to Journey and whispering. She glanced at Chosen, then knelt and said something to all 3. They all turned to look. Chosen's breath stopped. Damien glared with pure 5-year-old fury. David studied with scientific curiosity, and Daniel smiled and waved. Chosen lifted his hand in a small wave back. Journey immediately pulled Daniel's hand down, redirecting them toward the buffet. For 2 hours, Chosen stood rooted and watched his sons exist. Watched Damien help David reach the dessert table, carefully selecting cookies. Watched David explain something to a confused adult, hands moving in elaborate gestures. Watched Daniel charm everyone in a 10-foot radius, collecting high fives like currency. Watched Journey move through it like a conductor, keeping all 3 in her orbit. The kind of parenting that only came from 5 years solo. They were a unit, complete without him. Around 90 minutes, Damien pulled away from Journey and marched toward Chosen. Chosen froze. The boy stopped 3 feet away, crossed arms, looked up. You're staring. I know, I'm sorry. Why? Because you're the most amazing thing I've ever seen. Damien's expression didn't soften. Are you the one sending money to our school? Yes. Mama said to stop. I know. I stopped. Good. Pause. Are you sad? Why do you ask? You look sad, like Miss Iris when her cat died. Chosen's throat closed. I am sad. Why? Because I'm looking at something beautiful I can't touch. Damien considered this. That's what Mama says about the art museum. Look but don't touch. Exactly like that. Are we the art? Yes, the most important art in the world. Damien's expression flickered. Confusion, maybe recognition. Then Journey was there, hand on his shoulder. Back with your brothers, baby. He said we're art, Damien reported. I heard, but we're not on display. Come on. She steered him away, but not before Chosen saw the boy look back thoughtful. 5 minutes later, Daniel broke away and ran to Chosen, all gap-toothed smile. Hi, you're tall. Are you a basketball player? No, Chosen knelt to eye level. I'm not. What's your name? Chosen. That's a weird name. I'm Daniel. I know. How? Chosen glanced at Journey walking toward them. A friend told me. Do you have kids? The question destroyed him. Daniel, come here, Journey called. 1 second, Mama. Daniel turned back. You look sad too. Everyone looks sad. It's supposed to be a party. I am sad. Why? Because I lost something important. What? Everything that matters. Daniel tilted his head. Mama says when you lose something, look in the last place you had it. Maybe try that. The wisdom hit like a freight train. That's very smart. I know. Mama says I'm wise beyond my years. Carefully pronounced proud. Means I'm smart even though I'm little. You are. Very smart. Daniel. Journey's voice firmer now, close enough to take his hand. We talked about staying close. I know. But he's sad and I wanted to help. That's kind. Now come on. She pulled him away, but he called back. I hope you find what you lost. Chosen watched them rejoin, David eating a cookie while simultaneously reading a pamphlet, which was the most 5-year-old genius thing Chosen had ever seen. These weren't abstracts anymore, not photos or ideas. They were real, complex, individual humans with personalities and wisdom and complete existence. Damien's protectiveness, David's curiosity, Daniel's empathy, perfect, and his. And he had no right to any of them. Near evening's end, David approached. Unlike his brothers, he didn't speak immediately, just stood beside Chosen, looking where Chosen was looking, a Journey talking with another parent. That's my mama, David said finally. I know. She's the best mama in the world. I believe that. She says you knew us when we were babies. Chosen's heart stopped. She told you? She tells us everything, eventually. David looked up. She says you made a mistake and left. That's true. Why? Simple question, impossible answer. I was scared, and I thought if I ran from scary things they'd stop being scary, but they didn't. They got scarier. David nodded like this made sense. When I'm scared, Mama says breathe and think about what's real, not what I'm afraid might happen, but what's actually real. That's good advice. What's real right now? Chosen looked at this small philosopher. Right now you're real. Your brothers are real. Your mama is real. And I'm wishing I'd been brave enough to stay. Are you brave now? I'm trying to be. Trying is good. Mama says trying is half of succeeding. David studied him. You have sad eyes, like the dog at the shelter before Mama let us adopt him. You have a dog? Not yet. She said maybe for our birthday. Brightened. We're turning 6 soon. Are you old? The subject change was so abrupt, Chosen almost smiled. I'm 33. That's super old. Mama's 31. That's old too, but not super old. David, Journey called. Time to go. David looked between them. I have to go, but I hope you stop being sad. Sadness is heavy. Thank you, Chosen whispered. David started to leave, turned back. Oh, and if you want to stop being sad, maybe apologize to Mama. She cries sometimes when she thinks we're asleep. Maybe apologizing would help. Then he was gone, leaving Chosen with his heart in pieces. She cries sometimes when she thinks we're asleep. He'd done that. His choices had made her cry in the dark while their sons slept. Journey gathered the boys, started toward the exit. Damien didn't look back. David waved once. Daniel blew a kiss. At the door, Journey paused, turned, met Chosen's eyes across the ballroom. For just a second, he saw something that wasn't anger, something that looked like regret. Then she was gone. His phone buzzed. Journey. Now you know what 5 years feels like in 3 hours. He read it twice, typed, They're incredible. You raised incredible humans. Please let me try to be part of their lives. I'll take any role, any conditions. Her response came faster than expected. You want to be part of their lives? Then earn it. He typed immediately, How? Longer this time. Write me a letter. Not about what you lost. Tell me exactly what you think you took from our sons, every moment, every milestone, every piece of childhood you weren't there for. I want you to understand what they lost. Then maybe we'll talk. Chosen went home, sat at his desk, started writing. He wrote through the night, through dawn, through the next day. 12 pages became 20, became 30. He catalogued every moment missed, every first that happened without him, every bedtime story unread, every nightmare uncomforted, every question unanswered. He wrote about Damien's first steps he'd never seen, David's first word he'd never heard, Daniel's first smile he'd never earned, kindergarten orientations and doctor's appointments and midnight fevers, birthday candles and scraped knees and quiet moments of everyday fatherhood he'd forfeited. He wrote until his hand cramped, until words blurred, until he understood, truly understood, the magnitude of what he'd abandoned. Then he sent it, all 30 pages, with one line at the end. I understand now, and I'm so sorry. Chapter 7. The Woman Who Holds All the Cards. You want to meet them? Journey Rose asked, and Chosen Jacobs would have signed away his empire. Then earn it. They sat in a coffee shop in Coconut Grove, mid-afternoon quiet. Journey had chosen everything. Chosen had simply shown up 15 minutes early. He looked terrible. Shadows under his eyes, rumpled shirt. Good. I read your letter, all 30 pages. And? It's a start. She slid a folder across the table. These are my terms. Chosen opened it. A contract, professionally drafted. Supervised visitation, 30 minutes twice a week, child psychologist present for 3 months. I have no legal rights to... He looked up. I'm not asking for legal rights. Good. You won't get them. You're not on birth certificates, never paid support. You have no legal claim whatsoever. I know. You'll sign a document stating you won't pursue custody without my explicit consent. Fine. Complete background check and psychological evaluation. Already done. He pulled papers. Dr. Reeves has been my therapist 4 years. Here's his full evaluation. Journey scanned them. Comprehensive trauma therapy, attachment work, parenting classes, despite having no children. This says you volunteer at a single-parent resource center. 3 times a week, 2 years. Why? To understand what you went through, to try to... He stopped. I needed to see what single parenting actually looked like. Not sanitized, but the reality. The exhaustion, impossible choices, how society judges mothers while applauding fathers for bare minimum. And what did you learn? That I didn't just abandon you. I abandoned them to a system designed to make single motherhood as hard as possible. No paternity leave for you, no understanding from employers, no acknowledgement you were doing the work of 2 people while I was winning awards and getting promoted. Journey was quiet. The donations to maternal health programs, those were you. Anonymous, but yes. 15 million over 4 years. He met her eyes. Doesn't undo anything, but women are dying from lack of postpartum care. Women like you were, alone and struggling and told they're not trying hard enough. You think money fixes that? No, but it funds programs, counseling, support groups. It helps some of them, not you. I can't help you. But maybe someone else's journey won't be alone. She hadn't expected this, hadn't expected him to understand systemic failures. You've done work, she admitted. It's not enough, never will be. No, it won't. Silence. Outside, Miami moved past. Why now? Journey asked. Why push this? Because I'm dying, he said simply. Her blood went cold. What? Not literally. Emotionally, spiritually, I'm dying. Every day without them, I'm less. I realized I could keep dying slowly, or try to live, even if living means being rejected, even if it means spending life earning scraps of time with children who might hate me. They don't hate you. They should. Damien does, she said, watched him flinch. He remembers me crying. He was 3, and he remembers me sitting in the dark crying. He's appointed himself my protector. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't interest me. Action does. She leaned forward. Here's what happens. You meet them once. 30 minutes. Dr. Morgan, someone I've vetted. If it goes well, we discuss next steps. If not, you're done. What if they don't want to meet me? They already know about you. I told them everything. His face went white. Everything? That their father left when they were babies, that you said I wasn't the woman you fell in love with, that you chose your career over family. She watched each word land, but also that people make mistakes, that you're trying to fix yours, that it's their choice. What did they say? Damien said no. David said he wanted to think. Daniel said yes immediately. Chosen's eyes filled. So I might only meet one. You might meet none, or all three might decide they want nothing to do with you. She pulled the contract back. But if they agree, these are the rules. Non-negotiable. He read carefully. No gifts over $25. No promises about the future, no attempting to buy affection, no speaking negatively about Journey, no discussing custody, no unsupervised contact. He signed without hesitation. When? Saturday, 10 a.m., Dr. Morgan's office. She wrote the address. Bring nothing, just yourself. What should I say? The truth, that you're their father, that you made a terrible mistake, that you're sorry, and you understand if they can't forgive you. Will you be there? Watching through one-way glass. If I see anything I don't like, I'm ending it immediately. Fair. She started to leave, turned back. Chosen? They're not a second chance for you, not redemption or absolution. They're three individual humans who deserve better than what you gave. If you can't be that better, don't show up. I understand. Do you? This isn't about you feeling better. This is about whether you can actually be what they need, and I'm not convinced you can. Then let me prove it. She studied him. One chance. Don't waste it. That night, Journey explained to the boys that their father wanted to meet them. Damien's reaction was immediate. No, I don't want to. That's okay. That's your choice. Why does he want to meet us now? David asked. Because he realized what he lost, and he wants to try to be part of your lives. Will he leave again? Daniel asked, the question breaking her heart. I don't know, sweetheart. That's why we're starting slow, just one meeting, to see. What if I don't like him? Damien asked. Then you never have to see him again. I promise. What if I do like him? Daniel asked. Then we'll figure it out together. David was quiet, processing. Finally, I want to meet him. Are you sure? I want to see if he means it, when he says sorry. Smart, she said. Will you be there? Damien asked. Right behind the glass, watching. If anyone feels uncomfortable, we leave immediately. Damien considered. Okay, I'll go, but I'm not talking to him. You don't have to. I will, Daniel said. I have lots of questions. Saturday morning arrived too fast. Journey dressed the boys in casual clothes, jeans and t-shirts, nothing special. Dr. Morgan's office was comfortable, designed for children. The one-way glass showed the playroom where Chosen was already waiting, sitting on the floor, looking terrified. Ready? Dr. Morgan asked. Yes, Daniel said. I guess, David said. No, Damien said, then took his brother's hands. But we do hard things. Journey kissed their foreheads. You do hard things, and I'm right here. She watched them walk in, three identical boys meeting their father for the first time in memory. Chosen looked up and his face crumpled. Hi, he managed, voice breaking. Hi, Daniel said, bouncing forward. You're taller than I thought. David hung back, studying. Damien crossed his arms, defensive. I brought these, Chosen said, pulling out 3 small items. Nothing expensive, just a small science kit for David, art supplies for Damien, a book for Daniel. But your mum said no gifts over $25, so if these are too much, they're perfect, Dr. Morgan said gently, very thoughtful. The boys took them carefully. Daniel opened the book immediately. David examined the science kit. Damien set the art supplies aside. Thank you, David said politely. Journey watched every second, watched Chosen sit on the floor at their level, watched Daniel pepper him with questions about why he wasn't there when they were babies, if he has other kids, where he lives. Watched David's careful questions about why he left, if he regrets it, if he's going to stay now. Watched Damien's silence, his protective stance, and watched Chosen answer with painful honesty. I left because I was scared and selfish. I regret it every single day. I don't know if I can stay. That's up to your mom and you three, but I want to try. Halfway through, Damien finally spoke. You made my mama cry, I remember. The room went silent. I know, Chosen said quietly. That's the worst thing I've ever done. Do you still make people cry? I try not to, but I'm not perfect. Mama says nobody's perfect, but some people try harder. Your mama is right, and I'm trying very hard now. Is it working? Damien challenged. Chosen looked at all three. I don't know yet. That's up to you. At 30 minutes, Dr. Morgan wrapped up. Can we see him again? Daniel asked immediately. Do you want to? Yes, David nodded. I think so. Damien was quiet then. Maybe. But Mama has to be there. Chosen's eyes found the glass. Whatever you need. Whatever makes you feel safe. The boys left. Journey gathered them. How was it? He's sad, Daniel reported. But nice. He answered my questions, David said. Honestly. I don't trust him yet, Damien said. But maybe I will. Journey looked at her sons and made a decision. Okay, we can try this, slowly. She looked at Chosen through the glass. He mouthed, thank you. She didn't mouth back, but she didn't say no. Chapter 8, The Test. Journey Rose agreed to let Chosen Jacobs meet his sons, and then the world collapsed anyway. The news broke Tuesday morning while Journey made breakfast. Her phone lit up with alerts. Breaking, Jacobs Technologies under federal investigation for securities fraud. She clicked through, coffee forgotten. Federal prosecutors alleging the company had been inflating revenue for 3 years. Stock manipulation, fraudulent accounting. Kingston Wright, the CFO, named as primary architect. But Chosen, as CEO, was implicated. The stock was in freefall. The company worth billions yesterday was worth nothing today. Mama, the tablet won't work, Damien called. Just a second. She kept reading, hands numb. Chosen had to know. This was destroying everything. Her phone rang. Leona. Are you seeing this? I'm seeing it. This is what you wanted, right? Him losing everything? Was it? A week ago, yes. She'd wanted him to understand loss, feel the pain she'd felt. But now, with 2 weeks of supervised visits, with Daniel asking when Dad Chosen would visit again, with even Damien softening. I don't know, Journey admitted. The media is brutal. They're saying he knew, that he signed off on everything. Did he? Does it matter? He's going down either way. Journey hung up and sat with the weight. This was different from her revenge. This was real consequences, legal consequences, the kind that destroyed lives. Her phone rang. Chosen. She stared at it. 3 rings, 4. Answered. Journey. His voice was devastated. Did you see? I saw. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know what Kingston was doing. I trusted him and... He broke off. I'm sorry, I shouldn't be calling. The visit with the boys is scheduled for tomorrow and I don't know if... Are you cancelling? No, God no. But I thought maybe you'd want me to. With this mess, the media attention... Did you do it? The fraud? Did you know? No, I had no idea. But I should have. I was CEO. It happened on my watch, so I'm responsible either way. What happens now? Investigation, probably indictment. The company's finished. I'll probably lose everything. He laughed, hollow. Ironic. 5 years ago I chose my company over my family. Now I'm losing both. The boys don't know yet. You should tell them, before they hear it somewhere else. What should I say? The truth, that their father made another mistake, trusted the wrong person, that he's about to pay for it. Journey was quiet. Then, tomorrow, the visit. We're keeping it. Are you sure? The boys are expecting you. I'm not taking that away because of your business problems. Thank you. Don't thank me, just show up. She hung up and sat in her kitchen, surrounded by normal morning chaos. Daniel looking for his backpack, David reading, Damien making unnecessarily complicated toast. Her sons, their father was about to lose everything, and she felt tired. That night, she explained in age-appropriate terms, "Your father's company is having problems. He might lose his job and money." "Is he going to jail?" David asked. "Maybe. I don't know yet." "Did he do something bad?" Daniel asked. "Someone he trusted did something bad. Your father didn't stop it." "That's different from doing it yourself," Damien said, surprising her. "Miss Ellis says there's a difference between doing wrong and letting wrong happen." "True, but sometimes the consequences are the same." "Will he still come tomorrow?" Daniel asked, worried. "He said he will." "Good. I want to show him my science project." Next morning they arrived at Dr. Morgan's. Chosen was already there, looking worse than Journey had ever seen him. Suit wrinkled, tie loose, shadows under his eyes like bruises. The boys went into the playroom. Journey watched from behind the glass. "You look tired," David observed immediately. "I am tired," Chosen admitted. "Haven't slept much." "Because of the news?" Damien asked. "We saw it on TV." "Your mom told you?" "She tells us everything," David said. "Eventually." "What do you think about the news?" "I think you're in trouble," Damien said bluntly. "I am." "Are you going to jail?" "I might." "Did you steal?" "No, but I didn't pay attention when I should have. People got hurt because of that." Daniel climbed onto Chosen's lap, surprising everyone. "Are you sad?" Chosen's arms came around him automatically. "Very sad." "Why?" "Because I worked really hard on something and it turned out to be built on lies. I didn't see the lies until too late." "That happened to Damien," Daniel said. "He made a really good Lego castle and David accidentally knocked it over and it was all broken." "Did Damien forgive David?" Chosen asked. "Eventually," Damien said, "after David helped rebuild it." "That's a good solution." They played the full 30 minutes, blocks and books and Daniel's endless questions. But Journey noticed Chosen's hand shaking when he stacked blocks, the way he kept glancing at his phone like expecting more bad news. At the end, as the boys were leaving, Damien turned back. "Mr. Chosen, are you going to keep coming, even if you lose everything?" Chosen knelt down, eye level. "If your mom lets me, and if you three want me to, I'll keep coming. Money or no money, job or no job, I promise." "Promises are hard to keep," Damien said. "Mama says." "Your mama is right, but I'm going to try really hard." Damien studied him, then held out his pinky. "Pinky promise?" Chosen linked pinkies with his son. "Pinky promise." The boys left. Journey started to follow, but Dr. Morgan caught her arm. "Can I speak with you? Privately?" They stepped into her office while the boys waited with the receptionist. "The boys are doing remarkably well with this. They're processing healthily. But Chosen is unraveling. I'm concerned about his mental state." "That's not my problem, isn't it?" "If he's going to be in their lives, his stability affects them." Dr. Morgan leaned forward. "That man is holding on by a thread, and I think the only thing keeping him together is those 30 minutes twice a week." "So what are you saying?" "Maybe consider more time. Not for him, for them, because right now they're the only thing giving him a reason to stay functional." Journey thought about that all day. That night her phone rang at 2 a.m. Chosen's number. She almost didn't answer, but something made her pick up. "Journey!" His voice was wrecked. "I'm sorry to call. I just needed to hear another voice." "What's wrong?" "Everything. The board voted me out. They're seizing my assets, my apartment, my car, everything. I have to be out by morning." "Where will you go?" "I don't know. Hotel maybe. If I can afford one." Silence. "Why are you calling me?" "Because you're the only person who's ever seen me at my worst and still let me exist near something good. Right now I need to remember good things exist, even if I don't deserve them." "You're drunk. Stone sober. Just broken." He laughed, bitter. 5 years ago I told you I didn't want to see you weak. Now you're getting front row seats to my complete collapse. Ironic. What do you need? Nothing. I just wanted to thank you for letting me see them. When everything else is gone, I'll still have those memories. Chosen. I have to go. The movers are here. I just wanted you to know they're the best thing I've ever done, and I'm sorry I didn't realize it sooner. He hung up. Journey sat in bed, phone in hand, staring at nothing. Then she got up, threw on clothes, drove to the hospital, because Damien was sick, violently sick, high fever, vomiting, lethargy. Her mother had called an ambulance while Journey was on the phone. She met them at the ER where doctors were running tests. Possible meningitis, they said. Needed family medical history. Any genetic conditions? She knew nothing. Chosen's history was blank. She called him at 3 a.m. Journey, what? Damien's in the hospital. They need family medical history. Your side. Do you have any genetic conditions? I'm coming. You don't have to. What hospital? Chosen. You have your own crisis. What? Hospital. She told him. He arrived in 15 minutes, same wrinkled suit, carrying a file folder of medical records. Everything, he said, handing them to the nurse. My full history, my parents, grandparents, whatever you need. Then he sat in the waiting room with David and Daniel while Journey stayed with Damien. An hour later, she came out. He's okay. Bad virus, not meningitis. They're keeping him overnight. Chosen's entire body sagged with relief. Thank you for coming. Are you kidding? He's my son. He's barely spoken to you. He's still my son. All three are. That doesn't change based on whether they like me. David and Daniel had fallen asleep on Chosen, one on each side. He looked down at them, arms around them, and Journey saw something unexpected. Peace. In the middle of his complete destruction, holding two sleeping boys in a hospital waiting room, he looked peaceful. You should go. You have to be out of your apartment. I'm staying, until Damien's released. Then I'll deal with everything else. Chosen, please, let me have this, these hours. Then I'll go back to my implosion. So she let him stay. When dawn broke, Damien was released. Chosen carried him to the car, the first time he'd held Damien, and the boy didn't protest. Thank you for coming, Damien whispered, half asleep, even though you're losing everything. You're not everything, Chosen said. You three are. Journey drove them home, and Chosen called a car. Before he left, Journey caught his arm. You were right to come. Tonight, that was what a father does. It's what I should have done 5 years ago. Yes, but you did it tonight. That counts. He looked at her, eyes full of something she couldn't name. Does it? Does any of this count if I still lose them? I don't know yet, but ask me again tomorrow. Chapter 9. When Everything Collapses. 3 months later, Chosen Jacobs lost everything. The penthouse, the cars, the investment portfolio. Even his office was seized by creditors. The federal investigation cleared him of criminal charges. Kingston had acted alone, but civil lawsuits would take decades. Chosen Jacobs, worth $800 million last quarter, was now worth $4,000 and 2 suitcases. He was living in a studio in Hialeah with roaches and thin walls. He'd sold everything to pay lawyers. His business contacts stopped calling. His award sat in storage. And yet, Saturday morning, he showed up for his scheduled visit. Journey almost didn't recognize him. Jeans and a regular button-down, not designer. Taking the bus, carrying a backpack instead of a briefcase. You came, she said, genuinely surprised. I promised Damien I would. Pinky promised. The boys ran to him, all three, even Damien now, and Journey watched this man who'd lost everything light up like he'd won the lottery. Did you bring the marble game? Daniel asked. Of course. Chosen pulled a battered cardboard game from his backpack, the $5 drugstore kind. Is that new? David asked. Yeah, I can't really afford fancy stuff anymore. Is this okay? It's perfect, David said. Fancy toys always break anyway. They played the full 30 minutes. Journey watched Chosen lose at marbles to Daniel, helped David with advanced math, listened to Damien explain his elaborate backyard fort plans. "Will you help?" Damien asked, and Journey's breath caught. First time Damien had asked Chosen for anything. "If your mom says it's okay," Chosen said carefully, glancing at her. 3 hopeful faces turned. "We'll see," she said. After the visit, as the boys ran to the car, Chosen hung back. "Thank you for not cancelling. I know it would have been easier. The boys were expecting you. I wasn't going to disappoint them. Still, thank you." He shifted his backpack. "I'm picking up shifts at a tech support call center, so I might have to move some visit times. Is that... You're working at a call center?" "It's honest work. Pays. Not much, but enough for rent and..." He gestured vaguely. "Life. You were a CEO. I was a CEO who didn't pay attention while my partner committed fraud. Now I'm a customer service rep who's very good at troubleshooting Wi-Fi routers." He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "Honestly, it's simpler. People call with a problem, I fix it, they're happy. Very satisfying." Journey studied him. He meant it. "The boys asked if you could come to Damien's birthday party next month." Chosen's entire expression transformed. "Really?" All 3 asked, independently. "Even Damien?" "Even Damien. I'll be there, whatever day, whatever time. I'll request off work. It's just at our house, nothing fancy. Cake and games. It's their birthday. There's nothing more important." Awkward silence. "How are you?" Journey asked, surprising herself. "Really? Broke, unemployed except for the call center. Living in a place with roaches, under federal investigation, watching everything I built turn to ash." He looked at her directly. "And weirdly okay, because I have this. 60 minutes twice a week when I get to be their father. That's more than I deserve and more than I had. Most people would be bitter. I was bitter for about a week. Then David asked if I was going to disappear again, and I realized I can either be bitter about what I lost or grateful for what I have. Can't be both." Journey felt something shift in her chest, some wall crumbling. "They're starting to trust you." "I know, terrifies me." "Why?" "Because now I have something to lose again, and my track record with not losing things is pretty bad. So don't lose them. I'm trying really hard." A week later, Journey's business was thriving. 2 new properties developing, a feature in Architectural Digest, a waitlist stretching into next year. She should have been celebrating. Instead, she was thinking about Chosen in a roach-infested studio, taking the bus to minimum-wage jobs. "You're distracted," Leona said. "Third time today you've stared at nothing for 5 minutes." "I'm thinking. About him. About the situation." "Same thing," Leona sat. "You feel guilty?" "I don't..." Journey stopped. "Maybe. I wanted him to understand loss. Now he's lost everything. I thought I'd feel satisfied, but I just feel tired. He's good with the boys. He is. And he's showing up, even with nothing. Maybe especially with nothing. I know. So what's the problem? I don't know if I can trust it. What if this is temporary? What if he gets back on his feet and becomes that person again? Then you deal with it then. But you can't punish him forever for what he might do." Journey pulled out her phone, scrolled to photos from last week. Chosen on the floor with all 3 boys, playing that cheap marble game, laughing. He looked happy, genuinely happy. When had she last seen him look like that? "He's different," she admitted. "People can change, if they want to." "Can they? Or do they just get better at hiding who they really are?" Leona stood. "I don't know, but your sons are asking when Dad Chosen can come for dinner, and you're running out of reasons to say no." That night, Journey made a decision. She texted, "The boys want you to come to dinner. Saturday." Nothing formal, just family. His response, "Are you sure?" The boys asked. "I'm saying yes for them." "What should I bring?" "Just yourself." Saturday arrived. Chosen showed up at her house, first time he'd seen where they lived, with a homemade apple pie that looked slightly lopsided. "I made it. It's not great. I'm not a baker," But Daniel mentioned he likes apple pie, so I tried. The boys descended like he was a celebrity, all talking at once, pulling him into their home, their world. Journey watched him take in their space. Photos on walls, boys' artwork on the fridge, comfortable chaos of a home with 3 5-year-olds. "You built this," he said quietly when the boys ran ahead to show him their room. "All of this. While I was building nothing that mattered." Dinner was chaotic and loud and perfect. The boys showed off, competed for Chosen's attention, told elaborate stories about school and friends and the injustice of vegetables. Chosen listened like every word was scripture. After dinner, while Journey cleaned up, she watched through the window as Chosen helped the boys build a fort in the backyard. Damien directing, David engineering, Daniel narrating like a documentary. Chosen was laughing. Really laughing. Not the polished CEO laugh, but something genuine and joyful and free. Later, after the boys were in bed, Chosen helped finish dishes. "Thank you for tonight, for letting me see this, their real life. They wanted you here, but you didn't have to agree." "No, I didn't." She dried the last plate. "But I'm trying something new." "What's that?" "Letting go, of the anger, of the revenge, of the need to punish you. It's exhausting, Chosen, and it's not making anyone happy. You have every right. I know what I have the right to, but I also have 3 sons who deserve a father, and you're trying to be that, so maybe it's time I let you try." He was quiet. "I don't deserve this." "Probably not. But they do. They deserve a father who shows up, even when it's hard, even when he has nothing. And that's what you're doing. I'll keep doing it. I promise." "I know, I can see it." As he was leaving, Damien appeared in pajamas. "Will you come to my birthday party, for real?" Chosen knelt. "I'll be there, I promise." "Pinky promise?" They linked pinkies. Damien smiled. "Okay, you can go now." Chosen stood, looked at Journey, and she saw everything in his eyes. Gratitude, hope, fear, love. "Same time next week?" "Same time next week." And for the first time in 5 years, she felt like maybe they were building something real. Chapter 10. The sound of her laughter. 6 months after Chosen Jacobs told Journey Rose he didn't want to see her weak, he finally understood what strength actually meant. It was Damien, David and Daniel's 6th birthday party in Journey's backyard, with 20 kindergartners running in sugar-fueled chaos. Chosen had arrived early to help set up, because that's what he did now. Showed up early, stayed late, did the unglamorous work of being present. He was manning the bounce house entrance when Damien ran up. "Dad Chosen. Tyler's being mean again." Dad Chosen. The name had evolved over 6 months, from Mr. Chosen to just Chosen to Dad Chosen. Not Dad, not yet, but closer. What's he doing? Saying we're weird because we have a mom and a dad who aren't married. Chosen knelt. "What did you say?" "That families come in all kinds. Like Mama says." "Exactly right. But he said his dad said you're poor now and that's why you can't marry Mama." Chosen felt the old shame rise, pushed it down. "Tyler's dad is right about one thing. I am poor now, but that has nothing to do with your Mama and me." "Why aren't you married?" "Because marriage is complicated. Your Mama and I are still figuring out how to be friends." "Do you want to marry her?" The question landed hard. "I want whatever makes you 3 and your Mama happy." "That's not an answer. You're too smart for 6. I know. Mama says I get it from her." He ran off, and Chosen stood processing. Did he want to marry Journey? Was that even possible after everything? Deep thoughts? Journey appeared beside him carrying cupcakes. Damien asked if we're getting married. "Oh no. What did you say?" "That we're figuring out how to be friends." Diplomatic and accurate. "Is it?" He looked at her. "Are we friends?" "I think we're getting there. You've been good, consistent. The boys love having you around. And you." She was quiet. "I don't hate having you around." High praise. "It is, actually. 6 months ago I couldn't stand the sight of you. Now you're in my backyard setting up bounce houses. That's growth." They worked in comfortable silence, the kind that only came from months of co-parenting, Wednesday dinners and Saturday visits, shared doctor's appointments and parent-teacher conferences. Chosen had rebuilt slowly. The call center job led to a contract position at a startup. That led to consulting work. He wasn't wealthy, would probably never be wealthy again, but he was stable. Decent apartment, reliable car, enough money for occasional ice cream. And he had this. Saturday afternoons in Journey's backyard, watching his sons grow. The party was chaos. Kids everywhere. Parents mingling, cake and presents, and that specific joyful disaster that only children's parties achieved. Chosen watched David explain quantum physics to a confused parent, watched Daniel charm everyone in a 10-foot radius, watched Damien protect a younger kid from bounce house bullies. "They're amazing," he said to Journey. "They are. You missed a lot, but you're here for this. That counts. Does it make up for what I missed? No, nothing makes up for that. But it's building something new, something good." Later, after guests left and the boys were crashed on the couch in a sugar coma, Chosen helped clean the backyard. Journey brought out 2 beers. "To survival," she said. "To second chances," he countered. They sat on the porch steps, watching sunset over the yard their sons had destroyed with joy. "Can I ask you something?" Chosen said. "The truth?" "Always." "Have you forgiven me?" Journey was quiet. "I don't know. Some days, yes. Some days I remember that night and I'm angry all over again, but mostly I'm just tired of being angry. It takes too much energy." "I'm sorry." "I know. You've said it 100 times and I believe you mean it. But sorry doesn't undo 5 years. It doesn't give me back the sleep I lost or the milestones you missed. It just is what it is. So where does that leave us? Co-parenting, being civil, maybe eventually being actual friends." She looked at him. "Why? What do you want?" He thought about lying. But they were past that. "I want everything. I want to be their father fully. I want to be in your life. I want to prove I'm not that person anymore, the one who walked away. But I know I don't get to want things. I get what you're willing to give, and I'm grateful for every piece." "That's very mature." "Therapy. 4 years. Twice a week." She laughed, and the sound hit him like light. "I haven't heard you make a joke in 5 years. I haven't felt like joking in 5 years." They sat in comfortable silence. "They want you at their school's family day next week," Journey said. All 3 asked. "I'll be there. And the science fair the week after. Wouldn't miss it." More silence. Then Journey spoke, voice soft. "You know what I realized today, watching you with them?" "What?" "You're not trying to be the father you should have been. You're being the father you are now, and that's enough for them." Chosen felt his throat close. "Is it enough for you?" She turned to look at him, really look at him. "Ask me again in a year." "That's not a no." "No, it's not." They sat as the sun set, painting the sky orange and pink and purple. From inside, they could hear the boys starting to wake up, arguing about who got the last piece of cake. "I should go," Chosen said, standing. "Or you could stay for leftover pizza. The boys would like that." "Yeah?" "Yeah." So he stayed. And they reheated pizza, and the boys dragged him into an elaborate game involving pillow forts and imaginary dragons, and somewhere in the chaos, Daniel asked if Dad Chosen could read them a bedtime story. Chosen looked at Journey, asking permission silently. She nodded. So he read them a story. All 3 boys piled around him, Daniel on his lap, David leaning against his shoulder, Damien sitting close but not quite touching. And when the story was done and the boys were sleepy and content, Damien said quietly, "You can come back next week if you want." "I want to," Chosen said. "Very much." "Okay, then you can." After the boys were in bed, Chosen found Journey in the kitchen. "Thank you," he said, "for tonight, for all of it. They're happy when you're here. That's what matters." "And you?" She smiled, A real smile, the kind that reached her eyes. I'm getting there. He started to leave, but she caught his hand. Chosen? That thing you said? About wanting everything? Yeah? I'm not ready for everything, but maybe someday we could try for something. Something is good. Something is more than I ever thought I'd get. Then let's start with something. He smiled, and for the first time in 5 years, it didn't hurt. As he walked to his car, he heard it, a sound floating from the open kitchen window. Laughter, Journey's laughter, real and unguarded and free. He stopped, turned back,